Welcome back to Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. We are going to try a new run, and I think we're going to try and build a republic that has the restriction of no buses allowed. So we are trying to build public transportation that is only train, tram based, no buses. But most of all, we are going to try and build a lot of cars and parking lots. We want our people to be independent. We want to make it possible for them to get around town by their own means. So we will see and try to experience car infrastructure at its worst. Now, in this game, the situation is this, that every person requires their own car to drive, and they do not share, which could be a problem. But we'll see what happens. I think we are going to try with... I think we're going to try with a random map. I was wondering if I should try the Slovakia map and make a pun about slow with W. Slovakia, slow cars, slow traffic. But I think we're going to try a random map. We're going to go for realistic mode, but we are going to put money at medium. We have experimented with earning money at the start enough to the point where I say that it should be fine that we get a little bit more money to start out with, and we don't worry about the challenge of making money, but the challenge of actually making a functioning republic that is based on personal transportation. That should maybe also help with loyalty in that regard, but we'll see. I don't know if this is going to be any successful. I don't know how long this is going to go as a series. It is something that I want to try. We are going to leave everything for the random generation at default. We are not going to build cities at the start. I don't think. I guess we could try. Have some cities and roads. Upgrading existing towns for personal transportation sounds like a nightmare, but it would allow us to have a bunch of people around that we could move into buildings rather than just getting them from outside. Sure, let's randomly generate 10 towns for our map with roads, road connections. Let's see what it looks like. I haven't really played with existing towns except for the starting map at some point, and I don't even remember how they behave. Like at some point they start demanding things, and I think it happens when you start building workplaces next to them. So when they start working, they also start demanding things. But I'm not quite sure if that's correct or not. In any case, we can start with 3 parking lots, which are very small, and maybe try to get a basic infrastructure going. And I guess the existing towns will help us see if we can make this whole concept work. If we realize really early on that it is going to be super stressful, or maybe something doesn't really work, I'm not going to force myself to continue too much. The end goal is, I guess, to get to 10,000 citizens with the limitation of no buses. If we can get there, like 10,000 citizens with, yeah, I think that's okay. Now, that limitation also applies to construction offices. So construction offices would move people via personal vehicles rather than buses. And microbuses are also buses, so I guess the most people we can move via bus is 4 people at a time via a personal vehicle. Which sounds like it could slow down things quite a lot. Alright, let's see what we have. We have some towns, we also have some churches. Haven't really played with those as long as I haven't played with towns. Looks quite nice actually. And having the customs houses all connected already at the start is also quite neat. So, western border seems to be well supplied with towns. On the eastern border we have... maybe we have a small village somewhere that we can utilize. How many people live here? We don't know. We have... oh, we already won. Congrats, we have 14,600 people, only with no buses. We achieved our goal. No, just kidding. I guess 10,000 people, 10,000 workers that should be employed is the goal, not 10,000 citizens. We have 10,970 workers, all of which currently have no work. We have 100% unemployment. And that's what we need to do. So there are a bunch of villages, cities around here. And as I said, I do not quite understand how they work. I think as soon as you start building workplaces next to them, they become active and start demanding things. Until then, they just exist based on subsistence, whatever. Like, they don't demand anything. So I worry if I start building a bus stop there or something, or like a shopping center that accept workers, they would become active and suddenly demand everything, and that would be quite concerning. So we might build a town away from an existing city and get that up and running first before we start building a bus stop here and moving everyone into that city. Granted, we can't use buses from that bus stop, so it might have to be a train station or I don't know, something. Maybe a tram line. A tram line could work, I guess, along the road. That is all quite complicated. What do we have down here? We have a village that is unconnected to anything. We have a larger city down here. Like if we have a train stop in this area, it would reach a lot of people. We might have to rely on trains to move large amounts of people from those villages into our existing towns. But I think we have to start out with some constructions of our own. So first of all, we're going to disable the Get Citizens checkbox, because we can presumably still move people around manually. And we might have to build at a smaller scale than usual, because we have to build a bunch of parking lots. Lots and lots of parking lots. Fuel supply is also going to become a thing that we have to worry about most, so maybe we should build an industry that creates fuel. And there's a ton of oil around. Like this area up here already has a road connection. We have oil wells right next to it. I don't know if the customs house has... it has a rail connection, so we could export large volumes of oil or fuel if we ever put it down an oil refinery. So that might be the start to go with, and then along the road we even have more oil. It's also close to the western border, and we also have the shortest connection to the eastern border, so it is basically at the corner where we can export to both markets if we want to. I don't know if the western border has a rail connection. It actually has a three-way rail connection here as well, plus another one over here. So that's a very good map for us. That's just a road customs house, and then a triple railway station here. We do start with double money, almost double the rubles, double US currency, so we do have a waterway that we could use for exports as well, but there's no oil next to it. I think we have to find some electricity first. There's none here. There's none here. So do we have any eastern based? Oh, there's one. That is okay. There's also a customs house here, another one. So we have electricity, we have our train connections. This might start out with a rail construction office right away, get set up, because we can export oil without any workers. Oil wells do not require workers. So we could pump oil out of the ground and start this whole process up with exporting of oil. Now the train station can be wherever. We can pipe the oil to the train station from long distances with pumping stations. I don't intend to build multiple train stations for this. I will build a centralized train stop somewhere, probably where I am right now, because there will be presumably a rail line going over here and then bringing in workers to the refinery, which will be one of the longer non-car based transportation routes, because I do not want to build parking spaces for 1,500 freaking workers for the oil refinery. I mean, it is 500, but it's 1,500 per day. 500 educated workers, no higher education needed, which is nice. Alright. We also will need water, and the industry, if it is supplied with a lot of workers, will require a lot of water. But the industry itself is not the priority. The priority right now is getting some oil extracted and put onto a train. So I think I need to plan out the oil fuel loading, unloading for that platform. And starting out in workers and resources to me always feels very complicated, because you have nothing, so nothing connects to anything and you can build whatever. So what we have is basically a loading facility that can also unload. We will make the loading happen next to the road. So if there are trucks, they can also go here if they want to. Shouldn't really be necessary, just I want some storage tanks on this side, I guess. The tanks need to be directly... they don't need to be, but I will put the tanks directly connected to the loading platform, which will have the benefit of allowing us to use a rail distribution office to automatically transport the goods. Because they will then know that the connected storage amounts are that many resources. If I put a pump in between, it would confuse them. We can use above ground pipes, it's fine. Fire safety will be important here. So a fire station will also be necessary. We do have water, which is good, so we can have a helicopter-based fire station. Being able to put out the tanks. I did build 2 tanks because at some point this is going to switch from oil exports to fuel and bitumen, so we can separate our export goods. And then I probably need to check where the actual oil wells go, because if I start placing things down, I might put them above the pump jacks. Thankfully I did not. I can still reach everything here. Now I'm gonna go for like a 50%-ish rate of quality. So this will be multiple pump jacks. I don't know if pump jacks can catch on fire. As I said, this is all going to be helicopter based, so the road connection to the pump jacks does not need to be a high quality road. They will probably all be underground pipes though, so I don't have to worry too much about all of this road nonsense. I do wonder if I need to get rid of some of the lake. Probably not. Alright. Let's see, 50. Another 50-ish. Another one up here. 45 is also okay. I mean, anything is okay. It's the edge. Going to try extract as much oil from the water area as possible. Doesn't need to be neatly aligned with the grid either, and just force of habit, I guess. I wish the radius would actually show the range of the building, but it is smaller than what it's actually showing by about 4 dots, so this should be okay in covering most of it. And then one more over here for good measure. It's only 30%, but it's fine. We'll leave this up here be. That's fine. We have 2, 4, 5 pumps, meaning we need two pumps. We have 2 wells, meaning we need 2 pumps. We have 5 wells, meaning we need 2 pumps. Sorry. We need to gather them together. And then I will put more pumps on this side that split themselves up. So at some point I can make an extra connection going into the whole refinery building. Don't have to disconnect anything there. Trying to plan this a little bit more than usual. I will use grid snapping for this. So this is this should not be a merging one, this one should be a splitting one. But the position is correct. So we want to underground pump station, split this like this. Underground. I mean, it doesn't really have to be underground. Both of these are underground. 12 tons of steel versus 10 tons. It's just a little bit cheaper. Requires a little bit less space. I mean, I don't know. I do like the look of the underground a little bit more, but it doesn't really matter that much. If those had like above ground connections that you could hook them up, not on the ground but like floating, I would use these more, especially for like going over the road, but that's not the case right now. Alright, then we have one over here. I probably don't need this. Let's check the other ones first, like the merging ones. So we are going to merge these 3 and then the pumping from those with these 2. Probably, yeah. Maybe those 2 and then those 3 into an extra one. Wait, yes, like that. There we have our pipe connections. And that last remaining pipe is probably going to go into an extra pump, just so we have the ability to hook up more oil connections from like along the road, etc. So there will be another merging reservoir, merging pump, underground pump, coming along here. Something like here. And this will allow us to hook up 2 more connections plus anything else really, because we can just put more pumps in as we need. The output goes into the splitting pump, and that splitting pump, I guess we only really need to pump into 1 tank. We can leave the other one be, but at some point this connection will go away. This will lead into the refinery directly, and we will not move the oil anywhere else. It'll just go into the refinery itself. Maybe an additional tank next to the refinery. All of this will need electricity. We should be able to do that with 1. It shouldn't... I don't know, how much do these oil wells require? Pump check has a circuit breaker wattage of 114 kilowatts. Times 5 is like 0.6 at most. So we should be fine with 1 substation. But I am probably going to build 2. Yeah, I'm going to build 2. We have 1 for the loading area. Gonna plan a little bit ahead. 1 for the loading area and 1 for the pumps. For the like this area. 1 for the pumps here, and then 1 more over here for later on for the oil refinery. So those will get their own substation. All of this will be hooked up by dirt roads. Nothing fancy. It will also get some nice curves to make it look as if it is like proper just road infrastructure put in place just for these things, which it is. I'm going to start that with a road going here, I think. This is all of the oil wells. Still need the electricity. We'll make the corners as if the vehicles come here and drive into the building and not make it like 90-degree corners, just to make it look a little bit more proper, I guess. Doesn't really work every time, but hopefully it looks okay. And then we have another oil well pump thing over here. Like that. These pumps will be properly connected, which in our case right now means gravel. This road should not have a lot of traffic except for construction. We will probably build construction industry next to this, except for the rail construction office. I think the rail construction office and all the rail construction will happen over here. And I think I will build that with extra storages, because train transportation might be a thing at the start, especially for resources. I don't want to carry a lot of resources via trucks if we have a lot of personal vehicles running around on our infrastructure. This is going to be not the way to do that. Some other infrastructures in the way. What other infrastructure could that be? Probably the pipe. This will be the initial setup. And the fire station will be over here, next to the water, probably. I also need to have the train line go through here. Can't forget about that. And then maybe have a bypass rail line going around the right side, left side, all of you, I guess. Just for planning purposes, so I don't forget. The oil trains will be relatively long, so I don't have a lot of them running around. So we need to make sure that there's enough parking space here. Thankfully, the dirt road should not mind about any of this. I think we're going to export anything with distribution offices, so at most this line before the merging needs to be 155 meters. So shortest train track. That's already 135. So we can merge those into this rail line here already. Let's see. Measurement 155-ish is here. So we'll place a train waypoint for the signals over here, and we can merge after that, after those. It does not like us merging over that, which is understandable. So we'll have a rail line like that. That is not correct, because I still need the diamond crossing to allow those to move in here. So the train lines do actually need to move slightly further. So I need to have my diamond crossing here. And then I can merge them after this whole ordeal. Let's put signals here so they stop around the road instead of on top of it if anything happens. And we do need to plan out the whole rail construction. I don't think I have anything else on that side, on the left side. There's going to be another oil deposit over here somewhere, so that one can go into this pump at some point. But for our transportation network, it's fine that we can just move the rail all the way across. There's a little bit of elevation here. So this is our connection. These are our rail lines. Bypass for I don't know what yet. But just to have it in mind for planning. We only need electricity for these, if I remember correctly. And let's also place down the fire station. Now the fire station should be close to the water because it will always have to get water first before going to where it wants to extinguish. But at some point, if I have the refinery here, I could switch from helicopters to also supplementing it with a workforce. So actually I can place it right here. And yes, the way to get water will be a little bit longer, but it will also accept workers from whatever supplies workers to the oil refinery. And then we can put in a vehicle and maybe a heating pump, etc. We'll see. So yes, I'm building it a little bit further away than it probably should, but I think it's going to be okay. We can put in a triple helipad if we want. I'm gonna go for a single. It's fine. And the road to the helipad does not need to be permanent. We're going to put that in once the gravel road is done, so I don't put too many small intersections in place that make this whole ordeal take longer to construct. Now I do want the construction industry to be in this area, I think, centralized. We can eventually get all of the construction material from the customs house via train, so maybe this is actually what the bypass train line is going to be. Supply the construction material into a storage over here, a storage area. But to start out with, we will have to start with vehicles. So I will make a basic storage in this area. And I will separate the getting the resources from the customs house from the construction vehicles, I think, because I don't like how long these customs houses take to load and unload. Let's put everything in place. These are all hooked up. Electricity should be supplied. We still need the transformer and the switch. That can, I guess, I should probably plan the construction industry. I will start with 3 construction offices at the border. Construction vehicles will I guess I'm gonna make a 90-degree angle, it's fine. Let me extend that so I can get the corners in here. We will also need a fuel station and a distribution office for that fuel station, so it's easier to manage. I'm probably going to build that closer to the road. The free gas station at least. We are going to use a dirt road for that. And then the distribution office will go over here. And we'll pick up resources from the customs house and drop them into the gas station. And for that we will buy an appropriate vehicle. What's the speed limit of gravel again? 60. So that one would be more than enough. Except if I want to upgrade to tarmac. This one is almost double capacity. It doesn't cost double, so I still really like the T138 trucks. They have such high capacity. I'm gonna go get one of those. And then we need our construction offices. And I do like naming those. So the worker construction office will just get workers from the customs house, and in our case will not get any buses. Not even microbuses. We do need to use personal vehicles for that. And I guess our construction vehicles will be blue. And they don't need to be too fast, so those are bloody expensive. I guess buses are also not cheap. It's fine. They can carry so much more. Maybe I should make an exception for construction vehicles, but no. We're going to use these. We can paint them blue and we don't need the extra speed. It's fine. That blue. 4 of those, please. And then we have our mechanisms, which does not need any connection, but we do need maybe 2 excavators. And maybe 2 road cranes. I'm not gonna use tower cranes in this, it's going to be fine. In this case I will actually use the one that I can recolor. This one is better. Am I? No. Yes, no. Yes, because engine power is way less, so it consumes less fuel. It's fine. Give me something blue, please. No? Okay, then green will do. 2 cranes, 2 excavators. No road paving implements yet. We'll get some hull trucks. 3 open hull ones. This one will be fine. It usually is. I guess this one is slightly cheaper, but this one has less engine power, and the 60 kilometers an hour speed limit is not a problem. So 3 of those and 1 covered hull truck. And then we do need trucks to carry aggregates and concrete and asphalt. So CO aggregates, CO hull trucks, mechanisms and workers. So hull trucks, I'm just gonna assign everything. They will only use steel bricks, prefab boards, and the last ones, I guess I should unassign them so it shows correctly in the assignment list. And you are gonna go get gravel, asphalt, and concrete. So do 2 dump trucks, 60 kilometers an hour, 12 tons versus 7 tons, 12 tons wins. 2 dump trucks, 2 concrete mixers, or 1 concrete mixer, another dump truck. Probably that. Probably two mixers. The first order of business will be building our construction office site with like separated transportation. Maybe the rail construction office will actually be the first one. Speaking of rail construction office, this time we are going to go for a long depot, just because. We do need a few, the ability for them to refuel, even though we are going to use a train distribution office at the start. I guess I don't need a fuel. I don't need a refueling point if I do that. At some point we will need a refueling point. Let's plan things out a little bit. So we need our depot, we need our rail construction office. That one will be directly supplied from the border. So a road connection here. Might also get warehouses at some point, but isn't really on the agenda right now. Maybe it is. I don't know. That one needs electricity, fuel, etc. Electricity we get from over here. Let's think about this. So we have our main train lines come out of this customs house. A length of like 160 meters will be sufficient, after which all of these can merge into a single train line, which in our case will be double track. You shouldn't have deleted everything, there was a waypoint in the middle. Thank you. Let's move those. And that will be like a simple rail merge. I'm not gonna make anything extravagant here. Merge all of these into one construction site. That seems to be okay. And we have our 3 unloading spots merging into our double track, heading all the way down here. And then we can think about actually placing down the rail construction office that goes into the double track, together with the distribution office. The rail construction office should not be too far away, but it will have to line up with the existing track. Something like that. I would like this to go along here. Now the distribution office doesn't have to be close to the construction office. That one is fine. That one can be pretty much anywhere. It would be good to be close to the source, but since it's train, it doesn't really matter that much. Transportation speeds are not the issue with trains usually. Now it's kind of weird that we start this out with like a rail construction for Kazakhstan, but I am still worried about this whole ordeal. Yeah, those intersections are a problem. We do need to lay this one first, otherwise we run into the issue of this not hooking up correctly. This side needs to go to this train track. So maybe lay that one first. And then this one. And then this one. There we go. Not as neat as I want. Yeah, that's too close. We have to lay the inner track first, because that one is the shortest radius. So like that. And that. That looks better. And then we have a diamond crossing before here. We don't really need a diamond crossing. They come out this side and go in this side. Don't really need anything on that end. It's a closed building, so that one will be fine, I think. It would help with construction purposes to have one though, so I guess I will place one in. And they can reach everything basically, without having to turn around somewhere else far away. And I guess we will have some storages here already hooked up. Conveyor transfer. It's weird starting with so much money and planning this out like crazy. Usually I try to get something up and running that earns me money. Not the case this time. We can just go really fancy. I think we'll make one open storage that holds everything. And that's probably going to be sufficient, I think. I don't want it to hook up directly to the road connection. I should avoid that. I always run into problems with having too many intersections on the main road. We have one intersection for this area. And then the distribution office to take care of here, this stuff over here. Actually, a proper one. Maybe even a larger, medium-sized one. Yeah, we can flatten things with US currency at the start. Still weird to me that you can do that. Doesn't feel right. Anyway, electric substation. Fuel station is going to be very busy. Other infrastructure is in the way. What other infrastructure? There we go. Okay. I unpaused to let some trucks already move around. So that will get the rail construction going. Distribution office taking care of this whole ordeal. Might need a fuel station at some point. Probably not. We're just going to bring the fuel to these points via our fuel distribution. Might need a proper distribution office for the fuel. But not yet. So we have gravel, we have steel, bricks, boards, etc. in one storage. Just having the extra storage should enhance the capacity of the rail construction office to the point where it should probably not run into the issue where it runs full. Fully out of resources, I mean. We'll split this here and turn off rail construction going that way. And then I mess it up, so I will have to leave those here. I thought me cancelling that would keep those separated, but apparently not. We'll let construction run for a bit. Did I buy... Yes, I did buy the personal vehicles. And the distribution train, since it's mainly for exports... I guess for oil I don't really need a distribution office. I need a refueling point and I need the long train depot. Because the distribution office is just for automatically balancing things. For the oil exports and in the future fuel and bitumen, I want them to stay in here until they're fully loaded and then leave. They should not just come here if enough resources are present. Unless, of course, I eventually want to say that leave some fuel in here, but I will handle that with the pumping stations in another way, where I pump them into the general supply before I pump them away for export. I think that's the plan. So we will need a long train depot and a refueling point. The refueling point will be in this area, so we can supply it eventually with the tank, where we store the fuel. And the depot might as well be in the same area. Don't need anything ultra fancy here, just yeah, I'm gonna do that, that's fine. Signal that up, and then the fuel station itself, which will go in between these, or maybe around. Is that a good place for the train depot? I think that's the place for the fuel station. Maybe the depot will be closer to the border. Yes. We'll leave this area for the fuel station. Need some distance to park some trains that want to go there, I guess. And then eventually we can resupply the fuel station with a pipe network. Once we start making our own. That's close enough to the middle for my feeling. We do get 155 meters, which should be long enough for a train. I think this is not close to the middle. Can be further up. Way further. Wait. Don't build a bridge, thank you. Yep, can be way further up there. Alright. So, let's say about here. That's 200 meters-ish, and that's 200 meters-ish. That's a good place to start. We'll lay track until 156 meters. Then another 50 meters for the diamond crossing. And connect those to the rail track. So 155, so 205 meters basically. That'll allow one train to park in here with its tail sticking out on either side. Up to 2 trains can refuel. I could also make have a 90-degree turn and park along here, so no entries and exit on either side, but this time I'm gonna go for this, I think. This is also going to be covered by the fire station from our oil extraction. We'll have to wait on that. I need to assign my construction offices. First one will be everything except workers, and second one will just be the workers themselves. So I can assign constructions manually. The worker construction office shall not assign itself to any construction tasks, please. Because I will manage the vehicles transporting workers to construction sites manually, because that is an expenditure that I can just save money on. Road constructions can be done by machines as long as they're long enough, and building constructions can complete their foundation before any workers need to go there. I guess we shall also place the electric grid. I think the first transformer is probably going to be in this area, since it will require most of the electricity. And one wire is going to go to the border post, supplying electricity in that area. Should be close to the fire station, maybe. It's an important one. Also need to make sure not to build too many intersections connecting everything to the main road. We can have parallel roads, we should not have too many intersections. So we have one 4-way intersection right here for everything, and maybe then a second one for the refinery itself. Okay, now onto the electric network. Can be close to the water also, if I wanted to. Because if it gets water, then just dumps it onto here, saving everything. Let's plop it down. Those are above ground pipes. I thought they would be fine, but in the case of me requiring road access to either side, I'll opt for making those underground pipes as well. Then we'll place one switch for this area. I think... Nah, it's fine. We'll use the transformer itself as one large switch. I think that's going to be okay. Of course, you don't like that. Alright. There we go. That should be enough. High voltage switch. High voltage switch. I guess over here. And I am going to build above ground wires. I do like the underground ones, but since this is going to be the main power line, above ground ones is fine. And we need to go over here to that one. Probably going to drop another switch, just in case I want to hook something else up over here that requires a lot of electricity. And we have the ability to draw another high voltage line from that area, if we need to. But I will pull one medium voltage wire over here, I think, for this whole area. I don't think we need a lot of stuff in this one. Right, we have some short roads that need workers. The resources are present, so let's get some cars full of workers, I guess. I guess the benefit of using personal vehicles will also mean that we not put too many workers on each construction site. Downside, of course, being that we are going to use a lot of fuel for driving driving not too many people around. Do need to hook this thing up to the road. Worry here being that it might be out of range for the fire station, but there's the potential for another helicopter-based fire station next to the border, because we do have another lake in the area, which I think I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna cheap out on fire safety. I don't want to put foreign workers into our fire stations. I'm just gonna spend a ton of money by using helicopters. And hopefully that will be enough. Come on, you can do it. Yes. Good. Another dirt road connection here to the fire station. For now. Helipad can be built by just machinery, and the fire station will need workers to finish it. We also need electricity. And maybe we can get everything with one substation. Yes, we can. And the electricity consumption in this area will be close to non-existent. Only the occasional fuel pumps will run. So what I'm going to do is there will be a wire going to this area, supplying fuel to here, to that fuel station. We'll have a switch in the area. And then the remaining electricity will go further on. Keep going. We don't need that much electricity. I think 1.5 and then continuing on with 0.65 will be enough. I guess 1.2 is going to be enough for that fuel station. Could also use underground wires, I guess. Yeah, I think an underground wire and then 0.65 for the remainder of the trip will be good enough. So we'll up to that amount into here, and then the remaining trip with the lowest of wires just above ground along the road. Hopefully not creating any issues. Just using the grid snapping for orienting myself a little bit. I do not have the intention of building anything that requires a lot of electricity next to the customs house and, well, plans do change, but hopefully this will be enough. Okay. We're slowly starting up construction. Game has been running for an in-game month, and we did put down some planning. Now the first actual use of personal vehicles will be... before we set up the whole oil refinery thing, we will need probably a functioning town of our own to serve as a base of operations for plopping down a bus stop and then ferrying people from over here into that town so they can buy groceries and supplies and everything. Trying to start building these in range of the actual existing town might be bad, because I think that could create issues. But for now, I'm gonna take a short break. We'll be back momentarily. I'm just gonna go get some food of myself for myself. And for anyone watching live, I should be back in half to an hour. For anyone watching on YouTube later on, the video shouldn't come out much later than the first one. I tried to space them out by 2 days, I think, just to not spam too many videos at the same time. And yeah, I think since I am on vacation, there's the chance to get a lot of stuff done, and I'm looking forward to it. We should be getting to the cars eventually, but I would like a robust infrastructure to start out with. And I already noticed that using construction offices with cars is a little bit painful. So building construction in that manner could be quite painful. I might have to stock up on some more road cranes to speed things along, but yeah. As I said, for now, thank you very much for watching. Take care, and maybe I'll see you next time.